Hello, YouTube. I am here with two of my great friends. Please introduce yourselves.
What up, kids? I'm Maguma.
I'm Jen.
We went to Japonawa, which is a festival in Tijuana, yesterday. Well, we went there a couple days ago, but it happened yesterday. It was a good time, and so now we're going to talk about it in a video, which is good.
Yeah.
Yay.
So how did we end up getting sent to Japonawa again, Matt?
So the way this happened, the way this started is Hanadoki-Con 2014?
The first one?
Maybe, I think, because it definitely wasn't 2015. I don't think it was 2015. I don't remember.
There's only
It was
two Hanadokis.
I was at Hanadoki-Con, and the organizer for Japonawa, Edgar, was at my Con-Going 101 panel, and I was talking about, how to prepare for a con. That whole panel was about going to a con for the first time, being prepared, what you should know, and some helpful beginner's tips to attending conventions. That's the 101.
Mm-hmm.
So he was asking me other things because he is from Tijuana. So he's like, "Oh, tell me about American cons, or what you think is different." And I had a lot of opinions about the communities, the cultures, masquerades, and performance, and all that stuff. So he was interested in the fact that our cosplay group, Unlimited Cosplay Works, is really into that jazz. So he's like, "Yeah, cool. We'll stay in touch." And then last year, in like the fall, he was like, "Hey, we'd love to have you guys as guests." So that is pretty much that, and then speed forward to now, and here we are.
Right. We actually ended up doing a cosplay group together. We did Street Fighter V, which I think was pretty rad. I'll put some pictures of it somewhere.
I've set the marker. Deal with it.
Good, thanks. We probably have pictures somewhere. So I'll link them to the thing.
And Twitter and stuff.
It's kind of good. But we ended up doing Street Fighter V, and then we judged their costume contest, which was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah.
Jen, you've been to stuff in Tijuana and all that kind of thing before. So can you give us like a sort of overview of the differences between Tijuana cons and US cons real quick?
Well, I feel like generally they are they're kind of a glorified gathering, like what we would think of as a gathering, just maybe more extreme, I suppose.
So a little more planned out programs.
Like a street, it's more like a street fair gathering mashup, I feel, because they usually have like, there's lots of cosplayers, it's usually one day, it's outdoors, so they have like vendors and like food, and like usually they have a stage where they'll have some sort of performances. Like they did have some bands this time, which I haven't really seen that as extreme as I did at this event. So they had like a Japanese band, they had like one of the cosplayers also like perform some songs, and then they had another band as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. And so it's not quite as industry based, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, definitely. So like in comparison to something like as big as Anime Expo, this thing is not only like a tiny blip on the map.
Yeah.
But it also has a completely different feel to it. Like a lot of cons in America right now are like, let's bring a bunch of people from the industry in and bring a bunch of people who will sell their stuff in, and then put cosplayers in the same room as them. But this one actually, it felt a whole lot more like, let's get a bunch of cosplayers together and then go from there. Which I think was
I
pretty
could
good.
see that. Yeah,
Definitely, especially with the attitude of like, hey, I want cosplay guests to be out and socializing. I want guests and fans to have a nice, fun, cohesive interaction with each other, and that definitely happened. I think, we walked around everywhere, and people. I don't know if that many people were aware we were the guests, but
Well, I think more than you might think knew, just because like I think a lot of it is like, I think a lot of the crowd is younger, and a lot of them are sort of new to the events and stuff. So I think a lot of them are maybe a little bit more shy about that. So they're not like, oh my god, Limited Cosplay Works or Space Pizza. They're just like, oh, they're the people!
They're the people that were told to be here.
One thing that I noticed was a lot of people were like throwing people at us, and they were all embarrassed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was another thing, that there was just like a gratuitously large amount of family units that showed up, which I think is rad because you don't really get that a lot in American cons. But like it was the dad would be like, there's those guys, you daughter, go run up to them, and then we'll take pictures of you with them. That happened a lot.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Or,
But-
hey, quick, come over here and stand behind my daughter when she's not paying attention so we can
So
take this
that we
photo
can
with
get-
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Incidentally, I don't remember whether we said this or not. We were the cosplay guests of honor for the thing. So they brought us in so that we could cosplay and then judge their masquerade and that kind of thing. Speaking of the masquerade, let's talk
There's
about
costume contest
that
today.
thing. So the costume contest, like a masquerade in America, you sign up for it, then you give them your audio, then you go up on the stage and you do the thing. And that is exactly the same thing that happened in this con.
Yeah.
But I feel like there were some pretty key differences. Do we
Yeah.
want to discuss a couple of those differences?
Definitely. I think one of the biggest key differences is the performance style. Like if you
oh,
look at a lot of
yes.
you look at a lot of United States conventions and you look at a lot of United States costume contests or masquerades, a lot of the skits and a lot of the performances tend to be things that are attributed to the source material. They're very, very rarely are they word for word
From the thing,
like
yeah.
interpretations or like we're going to do a recreation of some scene. No, it's more along the lines of, hey, we're going to cosplay these characters from Final Fantasy and do some joke that's based around our franchise, or there will just be a dance number or a silly skit. But at Japonawa, a lot of the performances really were about let's make a performance that is about exactly what we're from, or like let's do a monologue or a dialogue, or recreate a scene from a movie or a show, and that was definitely a different thing. And then also the sheer amount of fucking confetti.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like almost 90% of those performances all had confetti blaster poppers that went off, and that was cool because it's lots of forethought.
I think there's about 15 performances, and like only 3 of them
Did not have
shoot
confetti
anything.
cannons, yeah.
Yeah, and we even got a piece of cardboard debris.
Oh, yeah.
Confetti cannons.
So
that
like I
landed
think
on
that
our
one of
table.
them made it one of their confetti things because it's like a round thing of cardboard, and I think they made that. And
Yeah.
I was just like,
It was.
Yeah,
it
this
was.
that
this
was
is a-
different.
It's kind of good, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty neat. I mean, like Matt said, there was a lot of recreations of stuff. Like the thing that won first place was this Kung Fu Panda skit, and it was the pig guy. Was he?
He's an ox.
Okay.
He didn't have his horns on because of the wind.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it was an outdoor event, so a lot of the props
Weather
and things.
got lame.
Yeah, like all the confetti went.
Right, which was nice because it meant that the next people on the stage didn't have to dance in the confetti or whatever. But at the same
True.
time, it's like, God, where's all that confetti going?
Right.
But like
Yeah, I agree with that.
right, but the thing that won it was this Kung Fu Panda skit where the guy came out in his actually really good costume and recreated a scene from the movie.
Yeah, the most recent Kung Fu Panda film.
Yeah, and it was rad. Like he had good presentation. His costume looked pretty
He
good.
had some cool props too.
Oh yeah, and he had some people that were helping him. That's another thing that I've noticed is that stage ninjas don't. Like, they will be in blatant costume or just in random clothes. They're not in blacks. Like, I think...
There were a couple stage ninjas who were, but a lot of the stage ninjas who were helping out in some
Are
of
just,
the
like,
skits,
family members or friends or something.
they were, they not only were they friends, like, at least 3 different performances, the
Used
stage ninjas
each
were
other,
other
yeah.
contestants. So
Yeah.
it's like, hi, I'm coming up next.
Right, I'm gonna pull up this thing so that... I'm not on stage, I promise.
Okay, now it's my turn to perform.
Right.
Yeah.
Though, like, I think the other thing that I noticed was that they placed a lot more emphasis on things that were not that person. Like, the Gundam skit. There was a guy who did a papercraft Gundam, which was pretty rad. It had
Oh, yeah.
lights and things, and
Yeah,
it
it's
was
pretty
pretty neat. He didn't move around very much on the stage, but the guy that was helping him, who was just in like random plain clothes, had a little tiny scale model of size 7, and like a little thing that shot confetti and shit out of the back of it.
Hairspray.
Yeah.
Aerosol spray.
Right, it was pretty neat, but like that was the center of the performance. It was like the Gundam is there to look at, and then stuff happens over here.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a lot of that going on as
weird.
well.
It was a weird situation.
But I mean, all in all, I think it's a good it gave me a lot of perspective on like how different countries run their cons and things.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, definitely. It was an interesting type of show. I feel like I'm going to share this because I think it's important. But like as judges, we were given like a grading rubric to look at each performance, and I felt fine. I'm not a fan of a scoring rubric when it comes to judging because I think it's a bit biased based on that you can't really build a rubric that will accommodate every type of performance. Because like our rubric had things like, oh, do they have props? What's their stage presence like? And you know, sometimes performances don't have props. Sometimes performances don't have certain things, and it penalizes them immediately because of that.
Yeah, because it's a 5-point thing that they just don't get anymore.
And I judged Anime Expo's Masquerade in 2015, and we had this same problem, which was we were given a grading rubric that was supposed to be all encompassing. But there were skits that had aspects that did not apply, and it was like, this sucks because we couldn't think of a good way to do it. And what we ended up doing for AX was on the rubric, if there was a category that we felt was like, oh well, they don't apply, we gave them like the middle ground. Like the scale we had was like 1 to 10, so we would give anybody who didn't apply to that category a 5.
Fair enough.
That seems weird.
We had nothing else to do, and if they applied to that category, like if they had something that was applied to that category, it would have been scaled out where it's like, okay, well, you know, if they have the thing, then we'll grade them based on the thing, and if it's really bad, then they'll get a bad grade. If it's good, they'll do well. But like we couldn't think of anything to do about it, and like there were performances we really liked or things that we thought would have probably done better if we weren't on that rubric.
Right.
And it made it difficult. Or another one that really got me was that there was a thing of continuity amongst the costume. And that was basically like, how is the quality overall?
Right.
And then when it came to a single person, it would be like, okay, well, your top is great, but your bodice is like whatever. Or you made these amazing pants, but your shirt is really poorly crafted. But if you were in a group, if 90% of the group's costumes are immaculate, and then one guy's costume is bad, that penalizes the whole group. And that happened, and a lot of people got upset because of that. And it's like, sorry, that's what we were asked to judge you on, and we can't fight that. So I'm not a fan of rubrics. I'm not a fan of there being some generic scale. I think judging should be based up to the opinion and the subjective view of the judges. So that's me
behind that. Jen, you've judged contests and things before as well. What did you think about it?
The rubric?
Yeah.
I usually never follow the rubrics when given them. And like this one, I was like, nah, whatever. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should use the scale. And then I realized that I didn't do the scale right.
Right, me too.
Because it was like too many things to keep track of. So then I was like, oh shit. And also like, we didn't get the papers we were supposed to for all of the participants because they weren't able to print enough, whatever. I mean, they get that. So they did give us some extra paper. So that was good. But then I didn't understand that the one paper we were given was the thing we were supposed to be using for everybody. So I thought that was what those were the awards we were giving.
Right.
So then I got confused.
So, that was kind of good,
so that was me in the rubric. But probably the one thing that wasn't at this event, but this was in Mexico City, that I thought worked out really well and was really easy, was at Mexico City we were given a little number pad, and they were all hooked up to like a computer, and we would just rate them like numbers as they came on and went. And I thought that was kind of cool, because then it was just like instantaneous, and then we were done.
Sure.
And then like they even came by and they were like, okay, is this correct? And then we were able to be like, yeah, sure, that's fine, and then done.
And I like that they confer with you afterwards.
Yeah, the fact that they came and were like, hey, was this what we needed? This is it. This is what the computer says. Is this good? And we're like, yeah, So that worked out well, because then we were able to, if we needed to, we could have been like, well, we kind of feel this was better, even though we've given those numbers,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I usually don't follow rubrics at all.
Which is fair.
Rubrics are bad.
Right.
So, but the thing I think is funny is because I usually find everyone agrees with what I choose.
Yeah, that happened in
I'm just like, okay, then
we kind of came to the same consensus. I think we just viewed the order differently, but we all generally agreed. These are the ones we want to win.
These are the ones that are on top. My order is this one, your order is this one, but we can, it's probably this one.
We'll discuss it,
And it turned out okay. The quality of the cosplayers there was actually, it was widely varied, but on the good side of like being pretty rad. Hi there, friend. But yeah, no. Like there was a lot of really good cosplay there. There was a lot of people that tried really hard and got like their
This is bugging me.
fandom
There's like a
and stuff.
Spot on that
Sorry,
thing.
there's a
It's-
spot on the thing, and
Fight
it's
for
right
it,
on my
Jen.
head.
Now you're adjusted
Okay.
all the brightness settings. Way to go.
Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It's good. But like I feel like the quality of the cosplay there was pretty okay. Like what do we think in comparison to, for instance, American conventions vis-a-vis the quality of the cosplay?
I think it's. I mean, the numbers definitely affect that rating because you could look at like a an American con. You could look like Anime Los Angeles, AX, Fanime, or something,
It's
and like the size of the convention will also bring in heavier talent. But I think for an event that size, the quality is like 1-to-1.
Oh yeah.
I think that there were people who had nice costumes. There were people who had like this
Party City
typical like
costumes.
Party City or just something like I made this at home with like shirts and some fabric I bought at whatever we have that is Joann's. I don't know. I don't live there. I don't know if there's Joann's out there. I don't. But and then there were people who had really nice costumes and really immaculate stuff, or things that just looked like they put in lots of time and effort, or there was like crazy armor stuff. And I think the range is similar. Like we have that same type of range at our local events or festivals and smaller cons. So I think different environment, lots of familiarity.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like overall, in a way, the quality is better in the U.S., but that's because I feel like there's better access to materials.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's an older community, and like I think people are just able to find what they need more. Whereas there, it's like a lot of it is much more makeshift, much more like you got to make do with what you have, and it's definitely much younger. So I feel like it's a little bit behind, I guess you could say. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, me personally, like, I love seeing that, and that's one of the things that I miss, in a way, about the U.S. cons, is seeing that, like,
the growth
the
of
homegrown cosplay, you know. So, for me, that's really fun to see, even if it's not as good or, like,
it's like a grassroots
nice
kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that were behind, one of the things that I noticed at this con that was really kind of funny is, do you remember back in like 2005 in America when people had the free hugs signs?
Yeah.
That was like 11 years ago, and everyone had them here.
Yeah, that I
time
found very
traveled.
strange, too, because I haven't really seen that before.
Yeah, a lot of it too. I think that because for me, I think that's funny is that like those types of signs have been almost outlawed and banned at most conventions with some fancy and fun legal wording, of course, as to why you shouldn't have them. But like most cons were like, please don't have solicitation-based signs ever. And it was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. But then going to this event and seeing them again frequently.
They were
everybody
like,
had them.
It's like, oh, that's what people do elsewhere. I guess we should do it too. Because it felt like there was a trend. The trend trickled down into Tijuana.
It just took so long. And then
I don't know how. Like, there are cons that close to the border. Like,
I don't understand how that was a thing. And then like friggin' Psy showed up. There was a cosplayer who was cosplaying Psy, and that was a couple years old as well. But like they were like, all right,
Korean pop star Psy. Because I made the mistake. I thought of 3 different types of Psys before I realized we were talking about Gangnam Style Psy.
Blue jacket, glasses, Psy, and like he showed up, and the guy with the DJ, he was just like,
oh, Gangnam Style song.
Gangnam Style.
Let's play
and then
Psy
Gentlemen.
music.
And everyone up on the stage was like, "We're gonna do this now."
Yeah, and one of the Masquerade entries actually did a Psy song. He did "Daddy," which is Psy's latest Gangnam Style song. And I thought that was really entertaining, actually. And there were a lot of old school meme songs.
Oh yeah,
those
Leak Spin showed up.
Leak Spin.
Oh my god, they did it so much. They played that song like 6 times over the sound system.
Oh my god.
And then I don't know, it was alright. Alright, so aside from the like inner workings of the convention, the 3 of us had a pretty decent time. Oh god.
Don't fall.
Video, please don't.
No, we're good.
Come on.
Can you see the bottom of the fridge still? Yes, no, maybe so.
Don't be a junk.
There we go. Something like that, maybe.
It'll do. We're fine.
Okay.
But we had a pretty good time on it. I think it was neat. I think we developed a couple memes ourselves. Crisis de los 30.
Crisis de los 30.
It was.
Are you looking at me?
I'm just looking around.
How do we even explain that? Maybe I'll have to edit this part out.
No, that's the point. You don't explain it. They don't get to know where it came from because it's our joke. They get to sit there and go, what was Crisis de los 30? They were in Tijuana and there was a crisis of
the 30.
Of the 30.
Of the 30s.
What?
Oh,
They get to learn that. See, my thing is when you come up with con memes, you host panels later down the line, and when you get to those panels, that's when you go, so, you want to know about this con meme?
Fair
Okay,
enough.
well, you all get to learn.
That's fair.
And now y'all's part of the joke.
Okay.
So yeah, so they can come to an Unlimited Cosplay Works panel and find out what Crisis de los 30 is. I'm putting that on the table. If you ever come to any of my Con Going 101 panels and you want to know stupid inside jokes me and my friends talk about, like Brandon Heat.
Brandon Heat.
Nosotros Brandon Heat, Crisis de los 30,
Filthy Albeds.
Stinking Albeds. If you want to know any of those memes, you can ask at my panels. There you go. I will answer them. Regardless of panel topic, I'll answer those questions.
Right.
But anyways.
But aside from the memes, give me one thing that you enjoyed and one thing that you think could have been better over the weekend.
Oh man, you'll have to give me a second.
I'll tell you the one thing that I enjoyed.
Good. Give me a second.
So there was a whole lot of having to wait around, which is, I guess it's what happens when you're a guest or whatever. But during the period where we were waiting for dinner last night, we went down to the lobby of the hotel, and there were some other people there that were pretty rad. One of them was one of the other judges that we judged the costume contest with, and then there was a bunch of people from one of the bands that was playing as well. And we were just kind of like hanging, and like there was us, and then over here there was like the band, and they were also talking, and I kind of was eavesdropping on them because they were talking in Japanese. And then we decided, yeah, you know what, why don't we all go across the street to the liquor store and buy alcohol? And then we started leaving, and then the band was like, did we hear alcohol?
Like booze?
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what, screw it, let's everybody go. So the Japanese band, us, the other judges and things, we just kind of migrated across the street, and it was like, you know what, booze is the universal language. Booze is the universal.
It was pretty funny.
Right, and like Matt and I don't even drink.
I bought apple
They
juice
still had
and
fun.
cola.
Yeah, it was a
And
good
no
time.
one pressured them into drinking.
Which
Yeah,
was super
which was
nice.
very good.
Super nice. I'm super.
I mean, none of us ended up drinking together.
None of us
begin
drank
with.
together
yeah, that was
anyway,
the best part. Is like
but-
we were like,
Really
oh,
funny.
We all bonded.
right, like the
Yeah.
food is coming. Let's go get drinks. Come back, and then when we get back, the food will be there. We got back, and the food took another hour. So
Waiting.
nobody drank.
Waiting.
But it was still a good time. You know, we all sat around and hung out, and then
Yeah.
it was pretty good. The food was pretty good as well.
Oh,
Nobody got
yes.
sick. That was my favorite thing. Nobody got sick.
No one got sick. We
Yeah.
had tons of tacos. We ate so much tacos. I had so much carne asada this weekend. I was. We still have carne
Fridge.
asada.
Have
I'm
a
taking
box.
some home. It was carne asada from the taco shack.
Right.
It was great. It was hype as fuck.
Oh man, probably my least favorite thing about it though was that every time we turned on the television in our hotel room, it was playing Transformers.
That's his least favorite. Is the weird fucking action shows on Fox Action.
Fox Action.
Fox Action. Fox Action. Yeah.
They played like the same 4 movies
Yeah,
over and over
that's
again.
true.
Something with Steven Seagal, Transformers, Beyond the Reach,
Tekken.
Tekken the
Oh, God,
movie.
Tekken.
That we all fell asleep during.
We kind of like pseudo woke up through the second half of it. You woke up first, and the rest of us woke up, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Wait, what is? Oh shit, this is Tekken the movie."
I didn't know what the hell it was, and I never would have known that if he hadn't said anything.
Right, because it didn't have anything to do with Tekken!
Because this guy's like, "I am Hayachi Mishima," and I'm like,
No, you're not.
"I hate my life."
But yeah, no, that was probably the least enjoyable portion
That's-
of the...
That's interesting that the least enjoyable portion of the con was being in the hotel and watching shit movies on TV. I think my favorite part of the convention would probably have to have been the amount of socializing we got to do at the con with attendees and
definitely.
people. And like people were really excited to see our cosplays. People were really friendly and nice for the most part. There's always a couple bad eggs here and there, but like in general, everyone was really friendly. Everyone was really nice. Everyone really enjoyed what we brought to the show.
Except for that kid we punched.
You punched.
There were a
You
couple
punched.
bad eggs. I punched him with my mind, I guess. I was like in my brain. I like suplexed him. But no, you know, we had a good time with that, and I think that was probably something that was my favorite. I think my least favorite would probably be just, behind the scenes con management. We didn't. I assume most of the time, like, I also volunteer / work at another anime convention.
Anime Los Angeles, I'll put a link.
Plug
He's
it.
got it on his shirt. Your shirt's gonna be the link.
There you go. Fine. Put it on my chest. I don't care. But, like, we do guest relations and whatnot, and a lot of the times, and I know at other conventions, there tends to be a guest liaison. There's someone who is assigned to that guest to take care of them, make sure that they get what they need, that they're on time to stuff. And I understand that running an event is hectic, and running a festival is tricky, and you have to manage a bunch of stuff. So, like, props to Edgar, and props to everyone at Japonawa who ran that show. It takes work. It takes a lot out of you. But, forethought is, hey, have a staff member or two be the dedicated, responsible person for certain guests. Because we were taken care of, and we were definitely constantly talked to, like, hey, everything's cool, please let me know, and that was appreciated. It really was. But it does help in the future to have people who are dedicated. It's their dedicated job to say,
to handle,
hey, guys, what do you need? Are you all ready? Is everything up to date? We got you. And it helps the experience a lot more, because you're an invited guest, and then you feel like you're being taken care of.
Yeah, you feel like you're there on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine, and we did have people that we could go to and get to help us if we needed to, but I do agree, like, that was probably one of the things that I would prefer, because I feel like there were people around the Japanese band more.
Yeah.
I feel like the other cosplay guest had her friend that was her translator, and we were kind of given no one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little strange.
I mean, we still were able to get around, and, like, it was fine.
Yeah, we did everything we needed.
But it would have been nice to have had, like, a specific person that knew where we were supposed to be when, and, like, was like, okay, so that they could get us, and they could tell us what we needed to do. Because we didn't even know when the costume contest was until, like, half an hour before it was supposed to start.
And we went and asked about it.
Fine, because it was also, like, a small event. They could have easily been like, oh, by the way, we need you guys now. And we would have been like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
we just turn around and stop doing nothing.
Yeah, but it would have been nice to have been.
I think the trade-off.
This pose a lot.
Yeah, I think our trade-off is that while we didn't have a quote-unquote handler, we had the con organizer taking care of us,
which
and
is
that
fair.
was like a double-edged sword. Like, he was personally seeing to it that we were having a good time, but he had tons of responsibilities to take care of it, and like that tears your time apart.
Definitely.
So it's like,
I mean, he was there, but he was also absent, and that's just because of so much stuff that you got to do,
that's
which is
fine.
fair.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, wonderful. Do we have any other things that we want to say about the con before I let you guys introduce your personal YouTube channels, etc.?
Yeah, sure. Trying to think. Shut up, phone. Yeah, shut up, phone. Not really. I had a really fun time. It was great meeting a bunch of people. I felt comfortable enough being in a country where I don't really understand the language very well, and I didn't have any serious issues. Some people did understand English. A lot of people were very friendly. Nobody was super rude for the most part, and I had a great time experiencing a convention in another culture. Like, it's a big part of what I want to do as a con goer for my life, is travel and see different types of events, and this definitely was the first step towards that, and I'm very glad that I got to do it. So
yeah. You got anything?
I just I was happy to realize that I know so many people at that event, because I was surprised, because I was like, well, I know a couple people, maybe I'll see them, it'll be cool, and then there were so many more people that I knew than I realized. So that was kind of cool, because I was like, oh, it kind of gives me nostalgia in a way, like from Anime Expo, when I used to go to only Anime Expo. You make friends one year, and then you see them again the next year, so it's kind of that
feeling.
Yeah, so it's kind of a renewal of that, I guess, which was kind of cool, so I was glad to have that. Also glad to be able to spend it with, these guys and, get to know people more, make new friends, even in the U.S., even though they're going to be leaving us soon.
Hey, listen, shut up, okay? I haven't told YouTube about that yet.
Oh,
spoilers!
Sorry!
It's fine, I'll get to it.
But,
They'll learn.
They will.
They'll never know, because you'll just be in your house. Right?
I'll be in my conspicuously Japanese-looking house.
Suddenly new house. Yeah, no,
again.
anyway.
Why are these rice paper walls
I don't know
everywhere?
where I was going with that anyway, but I had a good time. That's the bottom line.
There you go.
Good show.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said before, being able to, or rather, like she said, being able to hang out with these two was super rad, especially because, as Jen spoiled, I'm going back to Japan July 23rd. So anyone who is in SoCal and wants to hang out or something, let me know, I guess, and we'll see if we can't make it work. But anyway, it's a good thing to be able to be like, here are two of the friends that, well, I actually just met Jen like 2 weeks ago, and she's already like super high up on my friends list now, which is rad because she proved to me that she wasn't a piece of shit, which is all you need, you know?
I'm not a scumbag, friend.
Right. No, Matt introduced me to her, and it turned out to be really good, because she's super good company. So these two are probably the best people, like, on this side of the con going, because I hate a lot of people.
I think all three of us do. So.
Yeah,
right.
We hate.
Right. So we are gathered together in our misanthropy. But anyway, so let's cut this to a close because we're already at 31 minutes. So please introduce your personal stuff so that I can link it and all that.
Cool beans. I'm
Twitter,
a pro
YouTube,
at doing
and all
this
that
shit.
shit.
I've been doing it for years. So what up, everybody? I am Maguma. You can find me on Twitter at Maguma Usagi. It'll be right there. You can also follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Maguma. And that's pretty much it. If you want to check out my cosplay page or our cosplay group page, which doesn't get updated as much as my actual Twitter or anything, is facebook.com/unlimitedcosplayworks. Have fun with all these hand gesture plug edits.
Yeah,
sucker.
I'm so glad. Like,
there's gonna be a floating text here just
what the
flying
hell?
around.
What am I linking to this?
Bam, 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 bam. Link. There you go. Have fun with that.
I'm gonna put pictures of Link from The Legend of Zelda there because
they better be there.
That'll be fun.
Better be there in the future. But yeah, so you follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook.
Yes. Go.
So I'm Space Pizza Cosplay on Facebook, so you can find me there. Twitter, I am at Space Pizza 86, and Instagram, I'm Space Pizza Cos. So yeah,
Okay, good
there
show.
You go.
Oh yeah, no, these two are awesome. Follow their stuff. They've got better reputations than me, so
Aww.
Whatever.
it's a good time. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us talk about the convention that we went to in another country.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Japonawa next year, look it up on the internet. This is how you spell it. It'll be a good time. So thanks for watching, and we will see you guys again.
Yeah.
I'll edit out the beginning bit.
Dick nipples. Now you gotta
What
edit
the
it out.
I'm gonna put it at the very end.
Because
Now.
he's got to edit it out now.
It's true.
So there's a camera. Good job, kid. Now you gotta put that in at the end. Good job.
Oh, God.
So.